Hi everyone, welcome back to Best Laid Plans. Today's video is going to be a sort of a how to plan, but also a DIY. So this is something I wanted to do for a while, and I finally got around to doing this year because I was going to wait till the January Happy Planner release to try and find a monthly layout that I liked. I had a lot of ideas. I really enjoyed the monthly layout for budget. I wasn't finding anything that I liked, and I had already used my rewards points to purchase a horizontal mini so that I could use the inserts. So that'll be a totally different video for later down the line for 2023 planners. But I didn't find anything I liked for the monthly spread. And so one thing that I was thinking was, gosh, I really like some of the happy notes that I've received in boxes, particularly the one from the Wildflowers box. If you haven't seen my unboxing of that Be Happy Box, I will leave a card so you can check it out. And I do apologize if my voice is a little weird. I am dealing with what I thought was a cold, but turned out to be a sinus infection, so I apologize. Hopefully most of this will be pre-recorded or voiceover. But I just absolutely loved this Be Happy Box notebook. This is the notes that came with it. It also came with these green discs, and they go so beautifully together. And I really wanted to do my own planner that was with like pre-Raphaelite pictures and fantasy art and like flower fairies and stuff. That's very much like my aesthetic. So today's video is really going to be about converting a Happy Notes into a monthly planner. So that is what we're going to be doing. I meant to film an intro before I did this, showing me putting this together, and I had gotten through it and realized I never filmed that, or if I did, it got deleted by accident. So I'm just refilming now. So it'll kind of be an in product, and I'll tell you how I got there. But we are going to talk about printing our own vellum and kind of putting it together and what pieces you need. So stay tuned for that. So for this particular DIY, you're going to need a couple different things, probably things you have around. You could also make these things or repurpose stuff into this. So the elements of the planner are really, for discbound, it's disc, the two covers, and then you're going to want to have your monthly dividers. And you can totally reuse past Happy Planner dividers. You can repurpose Happy Notes dividers. Or if you want something more permanent that you can reuse, you can do what I did. And I purchased these gorgeous frosted dividers. There's a lot of different shops on Etsy and other places that sell these. I got these from NikkisPaper on Etsy, and I will link her shop. She does them in gold, and she does them in white. In black. So if you want the foil like I got, you can do that, or you can go with like the matte black, and I think they were like $20, so they were really great quality. I definitely recommend the ones I purchased. And my thing is, I do plan on actually reusing these in future planners that I'm going to make. So that is why I invested in those. If you have, like, I've seen people make these with like Dollar Tree cutting mats that they punch. So you can even just do sticky tabs for the months. You don't even have to use dividers if you want. So you can really up or downscale this. For me, all of the covers and the disc and the paper, everything that is in this, that is like the main elements, I got from the Happy Notes. Excuse me, the Happy Notes. So I just wanted to use the Happy Notes. I loved the theme and the paper. I loved everything about it. And it was just kind of going to waste because I wasn't using the filler paper. So one thing that I did was I printed on filler paper. And I'm going to show you, I'll show you January to start with. Basically, it's 4 pages for each month. You'll have your at a glance. You'll have a monthly layout on 2 pages, and then you will have a checklist page. And then I just added some notes pages because I tend to use them for tracking payments or payoffs, or just noting important things or making a wish list, whatever that I'm doing that month. And all of this paper came from the Happy Notes. It was all within that. It came with that Wildflower Happy Box. So I got a couple printables. I purchased a printable for making this template on Etsy. And obviously, if you didn't have lined paper, it would have printed lines, which is why it kind of looks like writing paper for like practicing handwriting, but that wasn't what it was. It just, there's more lines printed on there. I will leave a couple of the Etsy sellers that have really good printables. Obviously you can print them. If you have a big happy planner, you can just print on 8.5 by 11-inch paper. I would use 32-pound paper if you want your paperweight to be about like as much or about the same as like a standard like Erin Condren or Happy Planner. And then you can just punch that. 8.5 by 11 will fit into a big happy planner. I have a classic size, so what I did was I resized my paper and I printed directly onto the Happy Notes pages. I used the A5 setting, and I'll just kind of leave right here, I'll leave a screenshot of what that looked like for me. I have an HP Office Jet, like a 45 or 4600 series. I use Insta Ink, so I do pay for printing, but it's 15 pages for $1. And so for the printing for this, it was not even $8 to print for just the pages. I also printed on vellum and things like that, but even with all of that, if you think about getting custom vellum or buying a new planner, it was definitely a savings, and I'm using what I already have. That being said, as you can see, the elements of this are pretty simple. The at a glance is really just, you know, a sidebar, some notes, and bill due. I totally could have done this without a template, with just washi and stickers. Or I could have done it bullet journal style, and the same thing with the monthly pages. You don't necessarily have to print. I went into Excel and did this and just printed from there so I could like run the calendar macro. And there's lots of free calendar on 2 pages, Excel templates, Word templates. You can definitely use those. You can buy beautiful templates again on Etsy. If you want to have more of the monthly layout with like the break down your goals layout, one of the people who I've linked has a great printable you can purchase for that. But for me, this was very simple to do. You could do an undated planner, and then I just added some sidebars and I decorated. And it's literally this for every page. And then I did not even do any printing on the notes page. I just have decoration, and then I have some checklist washi. I used Love Posh and Krissy Designs washi. And all of the flower stickers in this are Love Posh. The flower fairy stuff I got from Amazon, Shein, a couple different places. I've been kind of collecting flower fairy stuff. So, but your basic monthly layout planner is just those 4 pages. And if you don't use an at a glance spread, you know, that you could just make this your, just say January, and make it your divider. So you can scale this up or down, but really just those 4 pages, and, you know, dividers, that is all this is. And if you want to make it Buddha style, like you can just take like a straight edge and do some lines and have it be that way. You don't have to use stickers at all either. So for me, this was an opportunity to use what I had in my collection. I didn't want those beautiful stickers to go to waste. And so by doing this, now I get to have a beautiful planner that matches like my personal aesthetic that I'm excited to use. And for your budget planner, especially your budget planner, you should be excited to use it. It should not be something that you don't want to open up, or, oh, it's just, I'll make this an extra planner to add to my lineup. Like, you need something where you can actually do your goals, do your budgeting, and that you're going to be excited to do that. So if you're like me, and you know, you don't have to have like a professional looking budget planner. I think that that is such something that like the everything has to be sleek and modern, and like the whole work life line. If you like that line, if that is your aesthetic, if you like that clean minimalist, you know, I could put this in a suitcase and go to a board meeting look, that is totally fine. Like I have a friend who's like all about that. For me, I really love fantasy and fairies and, you know, unicorns and mermaids and like pre-Raphaelite art, and just being lost in that like very like fairycore, cottagecore, royalcore aesthetic. I love like seeing those things. I love that aesthetic. It's something that I grew up with. I have really fond memories of reading the Cecily May Barker Flower Fairy series with my mother. So like this is something that inspires me. So if you want to have a Disney princess budget planner for, you know, your corporate job, like do it. Do it. Do whatever makes you happy. Just don't join an MLM, please. Friends don't let friends join pyramid schemes. So there is really, you can go up or down with the budget, but there are some optional things that we're going to do that I decided to add to my planner. And one of those is I wanted to print my own vellums and to foil them using PET type stickers. So I got these from Amazon. I got the vellum paper from Amazon. It was, I think, $8. And then these were $7, and I have tons of extras of these now for spreads. But basically we're going to have this look of foiled vellum for each of the months. And I'm going to go and cut to that so we can talk about how I printed the vellums and what you'll need for that part. Ta-da! Here's what the printed vellum looks like. And I, just for reference, I will flash a picture of the settings that I used to print these. I did make sure to scale the images before I printed them, so I just didn't like print at random. I had certain settings, so I will show you those here. Again, I have an HP Office Jet, I think like one of the 4500 ones. So I've got Insta Ink, which I do highly recommend, not sponsored. So I have printed my images onto my vellum, and what I have been doing is trying to lay the vellum down so that it won't curl. So you kind of have to like set it under something heavy. I will say that you want to give the vellum a good like hour or so to fully dry, because it will still be drying when it comes out. And then it takes a little while, and then it mattifies like this, and it's really pretty. So this is what it looks like. And I decided that it would be easier to go ahead and pre-punch the side and then trim it down to fit my classic Happy Planner. If you buy the 8.5 by 11 vellum and you punch it like this, it will fit in your big Happy Planner. You won't have to do anything except for maybe like round the corners if you want to. I'm not going to be rounding the corners, but I am going to be trimming this. And I'm going to go one page at a time. I did the same when I was punching. Vellum is very fragile. It's extremely thin. You also want to make sure that your hands aren't like oily or anything when you're handling it, because those smudges can actually imprint on the paper. So just a note. So I'm going to go just one at a time. And I kind of just took my planner here and I'm lining it up. So just, and as you can see, it's really just this, everything after this bottom two punches is going to be trimmed. And then I have to trim the side. So we're going to start by doing all of the bottoms, and then we will go back and do the sides. So here we go. All right, so I have had these underneath some heavy books for a bit. They're still curling a little bit, but I think that they are going to flatten over time with them being in my planner. So I could always put them under books for longer, but I want to show you what we're about to do. I had one boo-boo and I had to reprint a sheet, so I didn't want to waste that vellum. I want to show you what I did in my mini. So I have this La Belle Dame Summer Sea here, and I punched it, I've trimmed it down, and I'm using it to cover the title page here. And that's what it looks like. And these are the PET stickers. Now you can get these from, I know Amazon has them. You can get them from Amazon Prime. You can get them from Shein. You can get them from AliExpress. You can get them a lot of different places. And they are transparent hollow stickers. I got the gold hollow ones, and I got them in a pack that had like several different patterns. So there was like music and fairies and these gate images and moon phases. So I will link what, I did get mine from Amazon, so I'll link which ones I purchased. It was a pretty big pack, so I'm gonna have a lot left over to reuse for other projects. But this is what it looks like. So the vellum is translucent, and then this just makes it look like it's been foiled. So I really like how this turned out. And I'm going to go through and I'm going to do the same thing for my different pages in my planner. So that's what's next. All right, I have my vellums all in now and ready, and so what I want to do now, I've got dated calendars and everything already in, but I want to go ahead and prep the rest of my pages, so this is all ready to go, and I can spend the majority of my like decorating time for next year just on my regular weekly spreads. So I'm going to actually go through and decorate through the entire year. And I decided that I wanted to be colorful and floral, so I pulled my Love Posh Rainbow edit. There are 6 colors, and I figured there are 12 months in a year, so I took out one of my notepads and just made this little cheat sheet of which colors I want to use for each month. And I'm going to be using florals and colorful boxes from that. I also have some Flower Fairies colorful box stickers and a number of these really beautiful like clear stickers, which I have a few that are foiled as well. I thought this one would be really cute for May for like Mother's Day. So I have all of those also, and I think that'll make a final like nice decorative element. I also have the washi that goes with the rainbow edit from Love Posh because I want it to match really well. And I think that washi would be nice in a couple places. So I just have those all ready to go. And I have my washi cutter here, scissors, everything I'll need. And I'm just going to start, and I'm going to focus on the at a glance pages and boxes on the monthly spread. So we're going to go ahead and get started. And there we go. So what I'll use this for is just logging purchases. And I've decided that I'm not going to use it to log every single purchase. This is just for logging my personal spending. So I'm keeping track of what I'm buying that is like a quote unquote non-essential item. So like, you know, planner stuff. But planner items is actually now a budget line item in my budget, because I'm realizing that apart from like maybe a little bit of like home DIY, cottagecore, and like paper crafts, it's really planning and that type of thing that kind of take up my hobby budget. So this will be to write down any of those purchases. And I like these washi because they're teeny tiny checklists, and I could do like large dots and use like the actual line and everything, but I have really teeny tiny handwriting. That is how I deal with having like poor like muscle memory handwriting, is I just write really tiny and it works for me and I can read it, and that's all that matters. So don't feel ashamed of your handwriting, just do the planning. So that is everything for here. I feel like now I want to add something here and then it will feel done. So I'm going to go back to that page and just find like a little something something. Here we go. Just to kind of finish this page. There we go. Now it looks like everything's just sort of under here. So I'm happy with that. So basically this is what I'm going to do for every single month. And then I will just go through and kind of show you the final flip through of everything when it is finished. And I'm going to try to alternate between this type of washi and the solid washi for the at a glance pages. But again, just kind of keeping these colors in mind that I've filled out. So I will do that, and then we'll do a final flip through.